It's a new cricket season. Welcome to another Ultimate Drive with the Chevrolet Warriors. In the show, we meet up and find out who the new signings are for this year's team for the Chevrolet Warriors. We meet up with the Knights and the Warriors as they got together for a friendship week just before the start of the 2013-2014 season. And in the player profile, we meet up with Malebongwe Maketa, the new assistant coach for the Chevrolet Warriors. But first off, it's off to Access St George's Park. Earlier on, before the season started, a press conference was held. Dave Emsley and Pete Botha announced the members that have left the team. Most notable, Makaya Hantini, Arno Jacobs, Justin Croix and Lyle Mayer have left the side. But there were a few new signings in the form of Salomzi Ngweni and Ryan Bailey. We spoke to Coach Pete Botha as he recapped the season past and the season that lay ahead.
So we struggled last season, I think mainly because we couldn't get our combinations right. And we couldn't really put ourselves in positions at certain stages of the game to really perform well throughout the season. So we'll look to change those type of things this season.
So what lessons were learned from the last season?
Probably too many bowlers in the team, and we played with one batter less, mainly because there were a couple of injuries. Davey couldn't keep most of the season, so we had to fill in for those key positions. So hopefully this year with all the fitness looking good, we can put all those players in key positions, which will make a huge difference.
The season was almost upon us and there were some fresh new faces in the Warriors side.
We signed Ryan Bailey from the Knights. He'll make a huge difference in our middle order. Balanced player who can play in all three formats. And also we've established a couple of guys who can do well in the top order, which was always a weakness for us. And from a bowling unit, we've got a pretty solid bowling unit. All five of our main bowlers played for SAA this year, so it's looking good at the moment.
Malebongwe Maketa was the new assistant coach.
Yeah, my journey had run its end with the Titans. Had been there for 9 years. It was really time for a change, a different challenge, new squad, different culture, and decided to come back home. The move has been great. Just one pitfall, my family is yet to join me down here, but the guys are really great bunch of guys. Still getting to know them, but enjoying the environment, enjoying the energy. Can only be success for the future.
After a relaxing off-season, team captain Davey Jacobs was ready for action.
Yeah, it's been pretty good. I had a good 5 weeks in the Caribbean, but before that I spent most of my time doing rehab on my shoulder. I had a shoulder off after the season. But it's been good since I've been back, and I'm looking forward to the start of the season. I think we're in a good space, Last year I think was a rebuilding phase, but we've got no excuses this year. We're here to win trophies this year, and that'll be our aim from the start of the first competition.
So what were the goals that he set himself and the team for the season?
Well, hopefully just a lot of consistency. Last year we spent a lot of time preparing for a 4-day competition for first-class cricket, and I think you have to be really disciplined in that format, and we showed that with our performances. So we'd like that to continue in all formats, discipline and just doing the same things over and over again. That'll be key for us this season.
Ryan Bailey was one of the new faces that joined the side from the Chevrolet Knights.
It's been in the pipeline for a while. I've been at the Knights for 8 or 9 years, and I thought a change would be good. And it was amazing coming over here with a new bunch of guys, new team, new setup, new environment. Has made me excited for the season ahead.
But in all three formats?
Yeah, the role that I'll play will be one of more of an older statesman, of a senior guy in the team, helping a lot of the youngsters, build and grow within the first class arena. That's one of the reasons why Davey and Pete signed me up for the Warriors, and hopefully I can fulfill that role.
Every year before the season gets going, the Chevrolet Warriors get together for a team-building exercise. This year round, the venue was the Fish River Sun, about 200 kilometers from Port Elizabeth. The guys are getting a chance to relax before the big season starts. Ryan Bailey was struggling to adjust to the windy conditions.
So far so good. We struggled against Birchie and Pricey, Pricey just shut the door on me. So yeah, it was good. First time playing in a wind, which I got to get used to.
It's about more than just taking time out, it's about bonding the team for the new season, as Michael Price explains.
It's very important. It's good to get the guys all together, a bit of team bonding, bit of gamesmanship on the course. It's really good, and I think it bodes well for the season.
Even Coach Pete Botha knows it's times like this that bonds the team.
Well, a lot of guys have been overseas. Some guys played SAA series. So it's just about getting everybody together, you know, and sort of going forward from here, plans for the season.
Although the team loved playing on the Gary Player designed golf course, it wasn't all about golf. It was also about team building and doing some other activities. The boys got to try their hands at archery, something that required quite a bit of hand-eye coordination. For some it was quite simple. We spoke to Rusty Turon.
Yeah, I mean, I only arrived in this morning, got up at 5 a.m. to make the drive through, but the guys had a good chat last night, this morning, again, with some really good strides made. A bit of fun now with the team building. The cohorts are lacking a bit this morning in the bow and arrow, but I mean, the guys are really connecting and looking good for the season ahead. The guys really building relationships here.
Before the first games of the season kicked off, the Chevrolet Warriors got together with the Chevrolet Knights for a friendship week in Port Elizabeth. Both the Warriors and the Knights have one thing in common, and that's the sponsor, Chevrolet. But there was more about getting together with the teams and just having some fun, sharing some experiences and learning more about the other side. There might be enemies on the field during the season, but this time round the battle axe was laid down and the boys relaxed. During the drinks break, they even had a chance to have a look at two classic Chevy vehicles, owned and restored by Davy Jacobs and Rusty Turon. Both the C10 pickup truck and the Chevy Camaro date back to the 1970s. The week wasn't all about cricket. Although that was the main focus, there were some other activities the teams had to compete in as well. There was a golfing challenge that would challenge their golfing skills, and then of course they would head out to the local racetrack, Aldo Scribunti, to test out some of the new Chevrolet vehicles on offer. And of course, that would mean a driving test. We put our lives in the hands of the Chevrolet Warriors players and headed out around the track with them.
I've really enjoyed it so far. Had a rough day on the golf course yesterday, but a bit more fun today in the vehicles, driving some quality cars and getting to know the other nice players. Really nice.
After an exciting day out on the track, all that was left was for the two teams to head back for the gala dinner to see who took the actual trophy after a week's competition. We caught up with marketing manager of Chevrolet South Africa, Tim Henman.
We're basically delighted to support cricket as a sport, and obviously the Warriors sponsorship, we're in our third 3-year run of it, and we're in the second 3-year run of the Chevrolet Knights. And from a business perspective, what we're trying to do is obviously attract sports fans, cricket sports fans, which represent a multiracial audience as a start. And then there's the geography. Obviously Port Elizabeth and the border region is our sort of hometown, if you like. And then we had a business objective in the Free State and Northern Cape to grow our presence there, hence the association with the Chevrolet Knights.
Well, the Knights did take the win after a week's worth of competition, but at least it was a great experience.
No, it's been a very enjoyable week. I think it's a great concept from Tim and the boys of Chev. Definitely something we'd want to do again next year. Cricket was good. We had good weather for the cricket. Golf was tough. I think we were still leading after the cricket and the golf, but our driving, apparently the boys that took the time trial was terrible today, so yeah, that's where we lost it.
It's not often that you see an Eastern Cape boy return home after a long stint in Gauteng with a leading team like the Titans. But that's exactly what happened when Malabongwe Maketa returned home to the Eastern Cape to join Pete Puerta as the assistant coach for the Chevrolet Warriors.
My name is Malibonga Maketa from Zwelicha, a small township just outside King Williamstown here in the Eastern Cape. Started playing cricket as a young boy there in Zwelicha. Got picked up by Raymond Boy, put me in the mainstream of cricket, playing mini cricket. And then Mr. Mzananda was the coach of Manezi. And from there, Greg Hayes offered me a bursary to attend Dell Junior. Went to Dell Junior all the way up to senior school, to Dell College. When left Dell, attended the Border Academy. And from there, captained the Border Academy, captained the Border B side, played first class game for Border, and that's how my cricket started. And leaving Dell College, I went out to the Border Academy, where I spent 2 years there at the Border Academy and represented Border Academy in the Academy weeks, played Border under 19, captained the Border B team, played a first class game for Border.
So what were the highlights of his career while he was playing for Border in East London?
Well, there were many highlights in the sense of people I've met, people that played part in my journey. We didn't win as many trophies, and we really though were close as people, and I actually enjoyed my time captaining the Border B side.
He's quite an avid rugby player, so how did he end up playing cricket?
Yeah, I enjoy those sports, but cricket's always been my first love. I took to cricket pretty easy as many other sports that I've played, but cricket always had something special, you know.
Coming from the Titans, what was the main difference between the two teams?
Obviously two different cultures, where here guys are more chilled, if I can use such a word, more chilled. And I think my experience being with the Titans and being in different changing rooms, I wouldn't say I'm more intense. I think I'm more demanding in the sense of I think I'll challenge them in a much more different way, because Peter and I are quite different coaches. I mean, I worked with Pete at Border. He's a quality coach, very good technical coach, and working with all different coaches, I'd learned something different with all of them. And when the opportunity arose for me to work with Pete hand in hand, I took it with both hands, because it's a great opportunity for me to grow. I work with batters and bowlers, but I'm mainly in charge of the fielding. So hopefully we can make a lot of improvement there. You know, now with the new rules, we're really demanded as a fielding team, and we've got some great players. So I reckon my strength is really overall trying to be there for the guys.
Well, it's great to have this young man back where he belongs, in the Eastern Cape. The Chevrolet Warriors started the season off with a bang with 2 wins back-to-back in the Momentum One Day Cup. It puts them at the top of the points log, tied with the Cobras. We're set for a humdinger season, so join us next time as we take you behind the scenes of the top Eastern Cape franchise, the Chevrolet Warriors.